Borough fans, hello and welcome back to your number one Stevenage Football Club platform. That is, of course, the Stevenage Football Club podcast. Welcome back to episode number 24 on season 7, the most important season. Yes, it is, and I don't want no ifs, buts or maybes. The most important season, our third season consecutively in League One, trying to become a top half League One team. How is everyone? I hope all of you have had a good break. Actually, it's been a couple of weeks, isn't it, since that appalling night in Reading, which we'll touch on a little bit later. It's been quite chaotic. I've got back from New York this week as well, so it's been really nice to come back. I know the boys did try to record an episode while I was away in New York, but I know that just couldn't happen because of technical issues. But we are back now. It's currently Sunday, and we are looking ahead to it all kicking off again. It almost feels like that, doesn't it? That we've had a break in the season, and then we're kicking it off again this Saturday at home against Doncaster. Me and Anne tonight are going to chat a little bit about Reading. We're going to look ahead, and we're going to talk about all of the matches that are upcoming and our opinion on the team for tonight's episode. And I've missed you, mate. I was in New York. I missed you. How have you been the last week and a half? No games. Yeah, how you been, mate?
Yeah, mate, all good, all good. Not I've missed those everyday Borough texts, sort of, that you normally send through about
What, New
12 o'clock when
York?
I'm on my lunch.
There you
Yeah, on
go.
my lunch break. I normally get a 24 hours to go, boys. Um, but yeah, no, all good. Managed to keep myself busy, been to watch a lot of my mate play down at Horsham. Seen 2 wins and a draw, so can't complain too much. And yeah, all good otherwise.
Well, I would say
Um,
I haven't seen my team play since Reading, but I have because the Jets won in New York had Jets. Yeah, that was class.
there it is.
New York was so good, mate. It was. I mean, you know what it's like. We did it a year ago,
Mm.
but it was just every time I fall more in love with it. It was amazing. And Mum loved it. It was her greatest ever trip, and it was weird seeing her there at all the places that I've been to. But yeah, she came to the Jets, saw the Jets win, and then straight to the Knicks after that was cool. But yeah, New York was brilliant. Had the badge out there with pride, of course, when you're
Of
sixth place.
course,
Yeah,
you surprise me every day, every time.
yeah, I do. Actually, it's quite funny actually because I went to the Freedom Tower that we went up, but
Yeah,
I did it differently this trip. On the Monday night, which was our last night, I went up it. I've only ever gone up it in the day, so I was like, do you know what? For this trip, I'm gonna do it at night and see what Statue of Liberty looks like at night, Brooklyn Bridge in New York. From the Freedom Tower, I went and did it. It was amazing. It was a great way to end the trip, and I was wearing my bin liner League One chalet on, right? Top of the league bin liner chalet, as I've called it this season. And someone was asking me about the team in the lift. Well, not in the lift, but as I got to the top of the lift on the way up, and I was speaking to them about us and this season and what we're trying to achieve. So I did, have a little chat with a few of the kind of Manhattan residents out in New York. But yeah, it was nice to get away and see it again, my favourite place. And yeah, and have a bit of break from the footy. That was a bit weird, wasn't it? To be honest with you, kind of being away for. Do you know what I was thinking? Is having this chat with my dad yesterday. We went and watched Ware play, and great game. It 1-1. Leighton scored in the 95th minute to nick a draw. Unbelievable. They haven't lost a game this season in Ware's league, and
mm,
I was saying to my dad, do you know what? I can't stand the international breaks. I
uh,
honestly think they're a load of shit. Like, I know that players go away, right? But if you actually look at our last month, the international breaks have probably ruined a little bit of momentum for us. Like, if you think we beat Luton, right? Then Peterborough was called off. And then they missed it. And then it was Lincoln and we lost. And then you get to now, don't you? Then Bolton's off. And it's just like, there's not, and then I know the FA Cup, I know that's not international break. We haven't got a game in a couple of weekends' time, but it's been gutting that some of those games have been off. Like Barnsley back in September, beat Wickham, Barnsley was off. It's like, I can't stand him. And then Jamie Reid goes and injures himself the other night. I mean, I don't know what he's done. No one's heard anything, have they? But
No.
it's just, I hate him, man. I hate him.
Well, it means one thing only. Time for Jovan to step up.
Well, it can't be the gas, can it, after Reading? Fucking hell.
Let's not give myself nightmares before I go to bed tonight, please.
Do you know what, right? I'll always remember when he hit the bar. Do you remember it? We were standing in a corner at Reading
Yeah.
and shit game, really bad. I mean, that was probably our poorest performance of the season, I'd say. Claim through. Anyone would have scored. Heck, given the ball to Luther, he would have scored. And he crashes it off the bar, man. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah, I'm gonna have flashbacks from that tonight.
Jovan. Maybe it is Jovan's time. Well, if Reedy's not available Saturday, then it's going to have to be Jovan or Gas. It'll be Gas. You watch.
No, I can't stand another 90 minutes of watching him run around. I can't. Can't do it.
Jake calls him a donkey.
It's not good for my mental well-being watching the gas play.
I love the Gas personally. I am.
Yeah, naturally. Get the Bez up top, actually, I reckon.
Actually, something's just cropped into mind. Do you know I still haven't got my season ticket back yet?
How did you lose it?
Oh no. I got back to the car. I was fuming. I called him. I was like, I can't believe I've lost it. And then I had a message come through, and then I saw it on social media. Matt Farley's season ticket. I was like, oh my God, someone's picked it up. I do need to sort that out this week. I don't know. It must have just slipped out of my pocket. Probably when the gas hit the bar. You know, that, yeah. I reckon it just kind of flew out the gilet.
That was a year. Oh, it's the gas.
Yeah.
Looking at this.
Do you know, I really wanted to take the season ticket to New York as well. So that was an opportunity.
Why?
No, just, get it out there, Central Park. It wouldn't have
No.
mattered. Should we chat about Reading? I feel like because Reading was such a long time ago, I don't think we should talk about it too long. I don't think.
Well, I can sum it up relatively quickly if you like.
Well, I was going to say, I don't think there's any point going through the 11 or the stats for this because the stats were so poor. I mean, I said it a couple of minutes ago. I think that was probably our first poor performance this season. Like that first 10 minutes was such an uncharacteristic performance from this team. And there was just a lot that went on in that game against Reading that I feel we need to change and adapt going into this block of games or these block of games that I actually think are the most important in terms of setting up our season and being in the top bracket of League One. Because if you look at the next three games, we play three teams in the bottom 17. So a really big period for this team. But yeah, it was a shit performance, shit result, wasn't it? And
it wasn't great all round. Just on a side note, I've shown the still image of the build up to the Reading goal to three people or maybe more, people that aren't Stevenage. There's no Stevenage bias with the people that I've shown this image to, and every single person I've shown it to have gone, yeah, that ball's miles out of play.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because from the angle that shows the ball, it's over the line, but it's not level with it, is it? And the only thing I'm worried about is if it's actually level, is the ball actually on the line?
Well, let's be honest. The linesman didn't have a clue because he was in the middle of the penalty area when the ball was in that position. And then to have a linesman overturn your decision as a referee, you have to be a weak man for that to happen.
Do you remember the booking in the second half? And he booked him, and then I went into the concourse, and it showed the highlight of it, and it was the actual guy that got the second booking that should have stood. That was absurd.
This is my thing, right? So a lot of people have gone, oh, it would have been a harsh second yellow card. But what the referee did was, any first cynical foul, he's gone and booked the player. So therefore, he's set his own bar and his own standard now for the rest of the game. So while he may already be on a yellow card, it is one, a cynical foul, and two, therefore, because of his bar that and standards that he's set, therefore it then has to be a second yellow. But then for a linesman to overturn him, you're sort of going, well, hang on a minute, that's got nothing to do with you. Let him do it. And obviously they've gone, TV. We don't want 10v11 on TV on a Thursday night and all this kind of stuff. And to be easily persuaded and change your mind, it just didn't feel very right for me, I'm afraid. So yeah, I wasn't too pleased, but I don't think I always come away from it sort of 24, 48 hours after and think, did we do enough in the game to win the game? No. Did we do enough to get a draw? Probably deserved. So, it wasn't put it like this, it wasn't one for the neutral. So why it was selected for Sky Sports, God only knows.
I think, right, and look, we started this campaign, and we've said it many a times on this pod that we've created a top half League One team, which we've done most important season. It's do you know what, Anna? I'm generally being serious now. I'm not actually trying to joke and make it up. I call it the most important season because I feel like if we finish in the top half of this league this season, I think for the next few seasons where we can develop this squad and get it better and better season on season under this management team, I think we can consistently stay in that kind of top bracket of League One. But I think this season sets all that up. So that's why I've been calling it our most important season, because it will really allow us to consistently stay there over the next few years if we're there. And we knew what we created, and we've had obviously that unbelievable start, won the opening 4 games, returned after the first defeat against Huddersfield, went on that unbeaten run again, and we're sitting here right now with the best defence in the division, unbeaten at home still, some wonderful performances, results, and moments in there. And I think what has happened the past few games, I think it's been 2 things that I've noticed. Number one, I don't think we've been particularly playing our strongest 11. And this is no pop at Revs, by the way. I think Revs has put together such a fabulous squad. I think it's really difficult who to choose on a Saturday. And that's not a bad thing. It's brilliant because it shows you the depth and the quality that we have in this team that we've created. But I think he finds it really difficult who to go with in certain positions, especially in the final third. And I think it's been a case of the last few games, we haven't played our strongest 11. Also, I think as the season goes on, you have to develop and you have to evolve and adapt, because what happens, you have a brilliant start like we've had, and you go and get 8 wins from 13 games and all these brilliant, beautiful stats. But teams do suss you out in this league because it is a fantastic division. And as the season goes on, teams do their homework and they suss you out a bit, and it becomes really, really difficult in a lot of the matches that you play. And the real top teams, the top managers, the top teams adapt, and they play different systems, and they find a different way of setting up, not necessarily playing, but setting up. So it makes us really difficult for teams to do their homework on. And I think we're at that point now where I think we've played, the what was it, 10 matches before Lincoln, right? And I think teams now would have done a lot of homework on us and would have, and there's a blueprint to get results against us. So I think we're at that point where Alex Ravel needs to think about maybe playing a different setup for a few matches and playing something different, just so that we've got many different ways of playing, many different systems of playing, rather than this just one system that has been brilliant up until now. Because as we saw at Reading, that system did not work. And Reading really, I'm not going to say dominated the game, because I actually thought the second half we were actually pretty decent in. But I think it's very clear that teams are sussing us out a little bit. And I think it's been clear over those last kind of 3 defeats that we've had, because we've had 3 defeats in 6 now. So I think that was really, really clear in this game. And I think going forwards, I think Revs potentially needs to look at maybe trying different systems. I don't know what you think about that potentially, but
I think there's definitely room for it, and I think um, so. Me and Donna's had this debate on the recorded podcast that got messed up.
what the unknown episode that's never going to get to, you know how like music artists like Michael Jackson, for example, right? I'm going to use him as an example.
Yeah,
We did go to Michael Jackson the musical on Broadway. It was brilliant, by the way. But I know that when Michael Jackson passed away, they released all these songs that no one were ever going to hear of, and it's a bit like this with a podcast, like an episode
mm,
that nobody was going to hear of, but Ad's brought it up. So Ad, you know what? Throw this in the debate. We'll debate this now.
okay. So Reese's argument was that on the Reading game, a lot of the players looked leggy and tired and fatigued. But I said to him, so while that might be the case, why did then against Chesterfield, for example, Revs not go, right, Harvey or Jordan, one of you is going to drop, we'll play Lewis Orford for you instead. And we rotate the team there. And then when it gets to Reading, the other thing I also raised when went, also these people are professional athletes, so they know their bodies and how to rest and recover and get themselves back to a level where they're going to be fit enough to play the next game. Also within that, the club have got people there that will help assist with the recovery, whether it's with massages or um, the nutrition side of it. So I just said to him, I'm not buying this whole scenario of, oh, they look leggy, because they shouldn't. They're paid to do this job. Like growing up as a kid, I don't know about you, but for me, I grew up and wanted to be a footballer. So I wouldn't sit here, and if I was in that position, I wouldn't sit here and go, oh, I'm feeling quite tired, feeling leggy today. And Reese was just like, oh well, it just felt like Harvey in the midfield was quite leggy. Yeah, because they've not recovered. I don't feel like they recovered. They may have not recovered properly. There was an opportunity the week on the Saturday before against Chesterfield to rotate that midfield. And yeah, I mean, for me also, if you're a professional footballer, whether you're tired or not, you find that extra 10, 20, 30% within you to go and play the game, to go and win a game of football. You don't just sit there and go, oh, a bit tired today, feeling it in my legs. Because the amount of second balls where, Freestone would win a header, or Good or Pidge or whoever would win a header, and um, the midfield wasn't there to pick up the loose ball. And he was like, oh yeah, they're leggy. No, it's just a lack of desire for me, I'm afraid. I'm not buying that they're leggy.
I disagree with the fact that it was a squad that was leggy. I've just, as you've been speaking, I've just had a look at our fixtures or results. Now, October, right? So obviously November we'd played in the FA Cup and obviously going into that game. So November we'd only had one match. But prior to that, in October, we had 5 games, and one of the weekends were no game because of the internationals. But the 2 of the 5 are EFL Trophy games where there's been changes. So the team have played 3 league games in October. So I don't think it's legginess. I mean,
No.
if we were sitting in, I tell you where legginess starts to come into play when you're in about January or February and you've played a lot of games and the fixture schedule's starting to build up because of postponements and cups and things like that. You can use that then, and it does happen. You do get players quite leggy. February and March, I think, are the toughest months of the season because around that point, I mean, you've played what? August, September, October, November, December. You've played 6 months, so you've played half a year. Legginess and fatigue does factor in. I mean, remember the promotion team? I know we had a lot of injuries. How did we do around March time? It was loss. Do you remember Rochdale? Loss, win, loss. That was probably our most rocky period. League One under Evans. Remember February and March? Just,
Yeah.
even last year. So I think February and March are the months where you can accept that and go leggy. I don't think the team are leggy now. Okay, there might be one or two players that are a little bit leggy, but I don't think the squad's leggy. I didn't look at Reading and go, wow, we look really tired here. Do you know what I mean? It
No.
wasn't a case of that. I think to be fair to Reading's credit, I think they're in a bit of a false position. They looked a little bit of a better team than their position gave for them.
Yeah.
When you actually look at Reading's squad and you see the players they've actually got quite a good squad. And I think they sussed us out. I didn't think we played the right 11, certainly with the gas playing up top. And we didn't play the right way. And I think that was the reason why we lost the match. Although we did, we talk about legginess. We did dominate the second half. When I say dominate, we were in control of the game in the second half. It wasn't like Reading dominated us in the second half. Reading dominated the first half, don't get me wrong, but second half, I thought we were decent, to be fair. We just couldn't score. So, yeah, I disagree with Reese's legginess point. I don't think it was legginess against Reading. So, interesting one, that. Interesting. We'll look ahead because that is firmly behind us. Now, I don't know about you, Hans. When we look at going forward, it feels like the season kicks off again. Do you know what I mean? It feels like we've had the first bit and then we've had a break and it kicks off again this Saturday. I'm really excited for these next three matches because I don't know what you think. I think that when we look at our season, we're sixth. We've got 26 points and 8 wins from those 30 matches played. I think there's a real opportunity in these next three matches to really establish ourselves there over Christmas. And we know when you're in the playoffs or you're part of that bracket, by Christmas, you are involved in that area of the division, right? So I think these next three matches are vitally important for us. I think if we are going to be in that top bracket of the division, we will get results in these next three. We look at December, that's probably our first toughest month on paper. We've got Cardiff, we've got Stockport, we play Cardiff again. We've got Burton who are starting winning and have climbed the division. We've got Wimbledon on Boxing Day. I know we've got Plymouth New Year's Day who are bottom. Nice to have it, but tough games. Looking ahead there, mate, Doncaster, Peterborough and Wigan, playing three teams in the bottom 17. I mean, this is a great opportunity for us now to really stabilise our position in that kind of top six almost, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you look at it and you almost don't want to say the phrase, but I feel like it is. They're three must-win games, aren't they? I think Doncaster, having watched some of the highlights from the game against Lincoln at the weekend, probably could be a bit of a challenge. I don't think I don't think we need to. I don't think we can afford to go into any game going, yeah, they're down the bottom. This will be an easy 3 points. I think we actually have to be like, right, come on, let's get at it quick and be on them quick, kind of thing, Um, so I think Doncaster is probably going to be a bit of a tetchy game. I think we need a fast start, get an early goal, maybe get an early 2 goals, just settle the nerves down, and then play our stuff, and then we go and play, and then force Doncaster to come at us and come out their shells, sorry, and then it should, in theory, be a relatively easy game. I think Peterborough, since they've got their new manager, they're starting to fly. And we saw it at Reading, the new manager bounce, get through the first 10, 15, 20 minutes of a game, quieten their crowd down, and then we can really impact the game positively. And then Wigan, we, uh, I think Wigan could be a false position. I think Wigan probably should be in the top half, just because of the size of the club, the resources they've got within the club. They should be higher up the league than what they are. But again, I don't think we've probably seen the best of Wigan yet. Give it a couple of weeks and they might be flying up the league. And that's what's so good about this league. We win one game and you move up three places. You lose a game, you drop down a few places. What's really good for us, we've not played since the beginning of the month and we're still in the top six. And I think people are forgetting this.
Do you know what? Can I just jump in there, Rand? I was literally going to bring this up. So when I landed in New York last Saturday, you're going to laugh at me. One of the first things I did was have a look at the scores.
Of course.
No, seriously, I was in tears. I was back in New York, and of course I was. But when the plane landed, there was a 10-second thought in my mind where I thought, "Oh, hang on, let me just have a look at the scores." And all of the top teams lost. All of them. They all lost. I think the only team that didn't was Stockport. No, Stockport
No,
lost.
Stockport lost to
They
Luton, I
all,
think.
yeah, they all lost. Lincoln lost. Stockport, they all lost. And it's a great point you make because we've played 13. We are still sixth place, and we've got 3 games in hand on Lincoln. We've got 2 games in hand on Stockport, Bradford, Bolton, Wimbledon, Luton, and a game in hand on Cardiff. So I say that these next 3 are, I think, our biggest games of this season so far, for the fact that if we get the results that really we think this team should get against these 3 sides, and don't get me wrong, I know Peterborough got Williams. They're going to start winning games. All those sides do, right? And, Wigan's a toughie away. And Doncaster, I think, is probably the most winnable game of the 3, actually, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
there's a real opportunity to stay in that top 5, top 6 going into December. You made a really good point, actually, about Doncaster, Wigan, Peterborough. Now, just as you were speaking, I just had a look. Now, these 3 teams over the last 6 games, all 3 of them have accumulated 4 wins. So Wigan have got one win in 6. Doncaster haven't won a game in 6. They've lost 4 in 6. And Peterborough have won 3 in 6. So really, when you look at the form going in, and I know that obviously our last 3, we've got 2 defeats and a loss, but 3 wins before that. I mean, really, we are looking at this thinking, well, there's no reason why we can't come out with minimum 7 points, let's say, and are back in the top 3, really, to be completely honest with you. In terms of team setup for these 3 matches, I know we talked earlier about we need to have that, I don't want to say plan B, but other systems of playing. Do we see them in these games, starting with Doncaster on Saturday?
I don't think with Doncaster we need to change too much. I think if we approach the game with the right mindset and the right attitude and the right, you know, let's go and have it, let's have this, and we'll take them to the cleaners, I think we're fine. I think if we rock up to the game a bit naive, going, oh, down the bottom should be an easy win. And this goes for fans as well as players, right? We can't underestimate teams that are coming up because anyone in this league can beat anyone. We've seen it. We have seen it in this league that, someone down the bottom can go. You look at Plymouth, for example.
Yeah.
After 13 games, did you have them at last place before the season started?
No, shamefully, I think I'd actually put Plymouth in like the top 5.
And I would have been with you because you wouldn't expect them to be down there. So I very much think it's we have to take everyone on their merit, and I think we have to approach the game with the same attitude of we're here to get 3 points, regardless if you're first, second, third, or 21st, 22nd, 23rd. We have to have a almost like a killer mindset going into it and go, right, we're gonna have you today. So I don't think we need to change too much for that one. I think Peterborough could be the game where we maybe switch up a little bit. I think it would be nice to see Phoenix Patterson play. I think, and
Yeah,
actually, you know what? I say this. I think Doncaster, they may well come and play with a low block. So having someone like Phoenix on the pitch is probably a good thing because the ability he's got at driving at people, committing defenders, playing in spaces where you don't think you're able to play football. He's that good. Like you look at it and go, well, what's he going to do here? And the next thing you know, the ball's in the box. You're thinking, how the hell has he done that?
You know my opinion on Phoenix. I think Phoenix Patterson's a wonderful talent in League One, and again, I think that was an unbelievable signing. I mean, I still remember when we signed Phoenix. I was on holiday, and I thought, whoa, he should be playing. He should be playing a lot more. I'm with you. I'd like to. Why not play Phoenix on Saturday and start it? Why not? I mean, the ability around the box. You know, when he came against Reading, he was brilliant. You know, nearly scored. He was brilliant. But that's Phoenix at this level. He's gonna create and contribute. And I would like to see him playing these 3 matches. Go and start him Saturday against Doncaster on that left. Do you know what I mean?
I think the only thing for me, if we look back to the Reading performance, was when I think there was one moment where he got the ball and he ran at the defender full speed and committed the defenders to do something, and then he got it through. A lot of the time when he got the ball, he would slow down because there was a lack of people in the box. I think we need to really emphasize, if it's out wide with Phoenix, the opposite winger needs to be making a run into the box. Kempy needs to be getting in the box. Striker, whether it's Gas, Jovan, or Reedy, they need to be getting into the box. Goodness sake, get Harvin, Jordan Houghton in the box. And Phoenix will put it on one of their heads. He's that good.
So, minutes played, right? And this is a really important thing. So I've got the minutes played up of our players, right? So, and this ties nicely into the point that we're making about Phoenix Patterson, right? So Phoenix Patterson this season has played 792 minutes, right? When we compare that to players around the squad, and I'll throw some minutes and names out there. Hang on, is that minutes? 792 minutes? It's got to be, isn't it?
He's played every virtue game, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's got to be. I'm assuming.
And he played the FA Cup game, then he's come on in the league a few times.
It is. Let me have a look. I've actually hit the filter on it. It is. No, it is. It is minutes. It is minutes. So he's played. Yeah, I'm assuming that this is taken into account all the cups included. He's played 700 and where was it? 700 and where was Phoenix again? Where's he gone? 792 minutes Phoenix has played, right? So when we compare that to other players in the team, Gassan's had 540.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, Bez has had 420. Jasper Patterson's had 641. He's just above those players. I'd like to see Phoenix not in the 800 category, 900 category, right? When we look at players in the 900 category, we've got Luther, we've got Jamie Reed, Chem Campbell's played up 845. Dan Butler's had 1,039. So I want Phoenix.
Too many.
Yeah, I want Phoenix. Look at his playing time to go up a little bit. Right? At the minute, he's just above Jasper. He's just above Swings. He's just above Lewis Freestone. He's just above Gas. And then he's quite a way off from Chem, who's the next player in the squad. So I want to see those numbers get a little bit higher for Phoenix. I think Phoenix should be playing more game time in this squad. I mean, I'm looking at our squad now. You've got Harvey White and Dan Kemper, the highest played. Then it's Philip Marshall. Then it's Charlie Good, Houghton, Pidge, Jordan Roberts, Dan Butler. Those are the players in the thousands. No reason why Phoenix can't be just below that in a 900. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah, so for me, I'd look to have Phoenix in. I mean, look, the team have had nearly 2 weeks off, so they'll be fresh. I really want to see a top performance against Doncaster. I want to see us playing the levels that we saw in August and September. Those months where we were really dominating teams, playing brilliant football and just completely dominating the 90 minutes, especially at home. I think that's really, really important for us. And yeah, look, to keep this unbeaten run going in the league at home. I know we lost against Chesterfield in the cup, but still unbeaten in the league at home. So I think that is, I think it's really, really important. Really quickly, and next 3 games, Doncaster, Peterborough, Wigan, points for you personally, and that you look. We all want 9 points, but where do you? And well, how many points do you see us getting from that kind of block of games?
I think if we get 7 points from 9, that's a very good return.
Yeah, yeah. So I'd agree. I think, but in my opinion, and minimum 2 wins, go and win 2 games out of these 3. That'll put us on 32 points. And then the other match that we play, if they take a draw, brilliant. If they win, then unbelievable. But yeah, I would say 6-7 points for me personally. But they're going to be tough games. At Peterborough won't be easy, and Wigan won't be. I think Doncaster's probably our most winnable game from the 3. But Anne, I'm like a little kid. I'm so happy we're 6th. I'm so happy we're in the playoffs. Seriously. I smiled every day in New York whenever the league table come up. I didn't look at it as much, but when I did go back and have a look at it, I was so happy that we're 6th for this team. It's magnificent. Let's take a little look at League One this weekend. Obviously, I know League One's been going on as we haven't had a game. I'll quickly go for the league table. We'll do the whole league table. We'll go from bottom to top. Bottom 4, Plymouth, Peterborough, Port Vale and Blackpool. 20th to 12th, Exeter, Doncaster, Reading, Wigan, Leyton Orient, Northampton, Wickham, Barnsley, Burton. 12th to 7th, Burton and 12th. Do you know Burton? Yeah. Burton have won.
Flying.
Mate, 4 in 6 they've won. Where has that come from? Do you know we're only 4 points clear of them?
Flying. They are flying.
They are. I mean, we have got 3 games in hand at the same time, but, you know, unbelievable from Burton. 11th, Rotherham, Huddersfield 10th, Mansfield 9th, Luton 8th, Wimbledon 7th. Top 6, our Stevenage football team, 6th place. Look at that, most important season. Cardiff are 5th, Bolton are 4th, Bradford are 3rd, Lincoln are 2nd, and Stockport are currently top of the league. Let's have a little look at the fixtures on the weekend, because we are back after international football. As we know, we play Doncaster Rovers at home in our 14th League One match of the season. The games are Exeter v Burton, Port Vale v Plymouth, Wimbledon v Wigan, Barnsley v Luton, Bolton v Bradford. Wow, what a game. Leyton Orient v Blackpool, Mansfield v Huddersfield, Northampton v Cardiff, Reading v Rotherham, and Wickham versus Lincoln City. League table, and again, we haven't had a game for a couple of weeks, been the international break. League table is starting to shape up, and it's magnificent to still see us in that top bracket. What are we making of it, mate? We're coming to the end of November. December's only a couple of weeks round the corner. What are we making of it? Plenty of people are just saying it's the most fantastic open division. And if you have a look at the table, from us in 6th to 20th, I do believe it's just 8 points. And if you go from 16th to 8th, it's 3 points. What are you making of it, mate, near December?
I mean, it's a much more competitive league than what we had last year. There's no what I like about this is there's no clear runaway. You know, anyone's got a chance of winning. You know, everyone's got their money on Cardiff or Stockport or Luton to be up there. But it's just so unpredictable. And, you know, some people need to read the matches played column and the points column. Because some people are forgetting that we're still 6th and we've got 3 games in hand.
When you say some people, who are you on about, and?
You know full well who I'm on about. You know who I'm on about.
What, Alex Ravel? Who are you on about? I don't know who you're on about.
Mr. Tong, giving it big after just scraping past Doncaster. That he'll probably claim that they dominated or some sort of nonsense.
But
But
battered. He likes to use battered a lot. I see. I don't
yeah,
know what battered means unless he's
yeah. Well, I'll tell you what
bat.
battered is the sort of fish you get down at Grimsby. That's battered,
Yeah,
you know.
I completely agree. Yeah.
Um, so you know, I think it's going to be interesting over the next 3 weeks. I think that game in hand that we've got against Peterborough, that could be crucial. I think that is one where we go right. We win that game. We claw back points on other teams. But I mean, I've got the fixtures up here because I wouldn't remember them all. But some of the games this weekend, Barnsley, Luton, Jesus, that's a big
No,
one.
I know. I think
Bolton, Bradford,
that's the one for me. Bolton, you got fourth v third.
yeah, and you know that you look at that and you think, well, who's going to win it, or is it going to be a draw? Where's it? What's going to happen here? Because let's be honest, no one has a clue. Do you? You don't. You don't. You look at you sit there maybe in the 76 like I do when you're usually with me. We're in the 76. I'm there going, Christ, I'm going to go and do an ACCA, and then I read out the games, and you're like, I wouldn't touch it. I
What
wouldn't touch it.
with
I
a
wouldn't
Diet
touch it.
Coke in hand? You mean?
Yeah, exactly that.
Sorry, can't wait for that Diet Coke in the 76 this Saturday.
Is it the best starter coat you've ever had?
I've missed it. I've been to New York. I'm excited to get back and get into my environment.
But yeah, you look at the games across the league, and you just don't know which one to touch because there's so many games out there that are just so good, and you're like,
Yeah.
this could go either way.
I think the debate for a lot of people, and I was on Gab Sting the other night, and they were having a debate too, was the top of League One, right? And we're unbelievable. It makes me so proud to say this that we're involved in that bracket. But the kind of consensus from a lot of people is that this is the top bracket of the division, but there's still a couple of teams that are going to come in the second half of the season and kind of, how do I say it? Kind of cement their place in the top seven. And the two teams that have been called out are Huddersfield and Luton. Now, it would have been Bolton, but Bolton have had this brilliant run the past kind of 5 matches, haven't they, where they've got like 4 wins in 5 and have flown into fourth. So if that does happen and Huddersfield and Luton do eventually get themselves into that top bracket, then you're asking for 2 teams to slip out. Now, I think Wimbledon are eventually going to slip down the division a bit and probably find themselves in about 14th position. So that's one area freed up. And I've got to be honest, look, I've said this. I don't think we're going anywhere from the top 10, at least. I certainly don't think we're going anywhere from the top 8, top 6. I just think with our squad and what we created for this massive season, that we have got quality that belongs in that top 8. And I think we've seen that over 30 matches. You don't win 8 games from 13 and do the things that we've done in the early part of the season, like stand beating at home, win consecutive matches back to back. You just don't do those things if you're not, you don't play the way that we played at Huddersfield and other games that we played in if you don't belong there. So I don't think we're going anywhere. So if we do stick, you're looking around that top bit and you think, well, can Bradford stay there? Can Lincoln stay there? I certainly think Cardiff and Stockport and Bolton are. So really, you're looking at us, Bradford, Lincoln as teams that could slip out, but I don't think we are. So it's going to be exciting. I don't think it's going to stay as the top 6 now than what it will be in March.
No.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, if there is a team for you that's not in that top bracket that will, who do you think, And?
I think Luton.
Mm.
I think, since they've had Wilshere come in, okay, he lost the first game, but I think there's a bit of a revival going there, and you can see that they're going to start getting results and working their way up that league table.
Yeah, I think it's Luton or Huddersfield. I think Luton, when you look at Luton's squad, they should really be in that top 6. Same for Huddersfield, really. I mean, when you look at Huddersfield's squad, it should be in that top 6. But isn't it mad that both Luton and Huddersfield have lost 6 games? So Yeah, it'll be one of them two. Rotherham as well. I mean, they're flying. They're unbeaten in 6, 4 wins in 6. They're up to 22 points. There might be one of those two teams come in, but I think the two are probably Luton and Huddersfield. If I was a betting man anyway, that's what I would say. And we're going to do a little competition.
Oh, good.
You ready?
No, because this usually ends in some sort of disaster for me.
Disaster. You don't think like that. So we're going to do a monthly prediction competition. The listeners, if you are watching us on YouTube or listening to us on Spotify right now or other audibles, you can join in this competition too. Me and And are going to predict the month's fixtures for us at Stevenage Football Club ahead. And then we're going to see who gets the most right, who wins the most points at the end of the month. We're going to have a little league table. Now, we didn't start this back in August because we had so much going on with the podcast. But we're going to start it now. And I think, considering that it feels like we're kicking off the season again this Saturday, I thought it would be a great opportunity to do it. So obviously, we've only got 3 matches left in November, but we're going to start it from here now. Now, how this competition works, Anne, you're going to predict our score. Now, if you predict the score incorrectly, okay, you still get 1 point, okay? If you get half a prediction correct, so let's say, for example, you go Stevenage to win 2-1 against Doncaster, right? Mm. If the score ends up 1-1, you would get 2 points. Okay, so if you get half prediction. So if I go 1-0 and it ends up 0-0 or 1-1, I've got one of the goals scored, right? So let's, for example, you go 3-1 and it ends up 1-1, you get 2 points because you've got one team's score right. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Perfect. If you get a prediction correct, you get 3 points. Really simple point system, okay? So we're going to predict the next 3 for us: Doncaster, Peterborough, and Wigan, okay? Now, I'm going to take a list of this, okay? And, yeah, we're going to come back to this after we've played Wigan at the end of the month, and we're going to see who scored the most points in the competition. So, Anne, would you like to go first?
Are we doing all 3 games in one go?
We are, yeah. We're going to do the rest of the month.
Okay. So I think we will. I think we'll beat Doncaster 2-0.
So you're going 2-0 to us, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, 2-0. I'm just going to write 2-0. And, okay.
I think Peterborough will scrap a 2-1 win.
Okay, 2-1 win against Peterborough. Okay.
And then Wigan, I think, could be 0-0 or 1-1. Let's go 1-1.
1-1. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So And has gone the game against Doncaster, a 2-0 win for us, then a 2-1 win at Peterborough, and a 1-1 draw beat Wigan. I like that, And. I'm going to go 3-0 against Doncaster in my prediction. I think we'll beat them big on Saturday.
I was tempted to go with that, but then I was like, we've not really scored more than 2 in a game this year, have we?
So what are we saying then? Agassana had made hat-trick?
If that happens, I'm going to have to eat a lot of humble pie.
Oh, please. I hope Jamie Reed's not badly injured from Northern Ireland after he's knocked the other night. Please. I hope not. I'm going to go Peterborough. I'm going to go a 1-0 win at Peterborough for me. I think we'll win against Peterborough. And Wigan, I'm going to go for a 0-0 at Wigan. Nil. So these are quite similar. So we've predicted us to pick up the same amount of points, 7 each we've gone for, which I think we'll probably do. But in terms of the game, so And has gone 2-0 against Doncaster Saturday, and has then gone 2-1 against Peterborough, and then a 1-1 against Wigan. I have got a 3-0 win against Doncaster, with a 1-0 win against Peterborough, and a 0-0 against Wigan. So it's going to be quite interesting to see who scores the most points. So yeah, and I'm looking forward to this competition. It's going to be good fun, mate. I'm excited for it. Borough fans, please join in with us in the competition. Obviously, it's me and Anne, but we don't want it to just be me and Anne. If you would like to join, we are going to put a post out on our social media channels and platforms of how you can enter the competition. We will be doing this at the start of every month and then doing a league table at the end of the month. A winner will get a prize. Last place will get a wooden spoon prize. And you could win and end up with a blue striped Jolla Cole Pigiani shirt, mate. Just saying.
What happens if it's one of us that wins it?
Well, then the other person's going to have to buy it for the other person, surely, right?
We need to discuss what the winning prize is.
I'll tell you what you could get me. A half football shirt on one side, blue striped Jolla, on the other side, a Jet shirt.
Brilliant.
That's what you could get me, Anne. That could be my gift.
Not a Conor Ben, hat or anything.
No, none of that. Just have PG, like Pigiani on one side, Pigiani Wilson, PG Wilson, like that, or Fields. Sorry, it's just ridiculous chat. But yeah, I think we'll have to get each other a gift if, let's say, you finish top or I finished. I think that's the way we'd have to do it, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah, naturally. Should be fun, though. Again, Borough fans, keep an eye out for our stuff on socials of how to join the competition and join in with us. I think we've covered it tonight. It's been quite nice to kick it all off again and touch base. You're going Saturday, aren't you?
Yes, I will be there in some facility. I don't know where yet, whether it be the terrace or the north.
So what are we saying? What, cheeky Nando's for lunch?
I'll message Jake, see what he's saying.
Oh, what, get us on it?
Yeah.
What, a cheeky...
I could get up, come up early. We could get a quick three ball in.
Oh, what I was going to say, originally I was going to say a quick cheeky 3-ball Nando's. But if we're actually doing a quick cheeky 3-ball and Nando's, that appeals to me. That does.
I'll speak to Jake and see what's going on.
I'll chat with Jake. Actually, I've got a race early Saturday morning as well in the area. So I'll be doing that and then, yeah, flying off wherever we go, golf or... That'd be good. All right, yeah, have a chat with Jake. Yeah, see what we do.
Sweet. Sounds good.
Borough fans, thank you so much for tuning in to episode number 24 on the Stevenage Football Club podcast. I don't know what to call this podcast. Should we call it Kicking Off Again in brackets? I think we should do
Kicking Off Part 2.
Kicking Off Part 2. I like that. Kicking Off Part 2.
The Rapture Part 3.
Yeah. That'll be in December when we have another blooming week off. So, Borough fans, if you enjoyed listening to Kicking Off Part 2, I'm going to steal that from Ad. Go and give us a follow, like, and a subscribe on YouTube. Also a follow on the Audible, Spotify, for example. We will hopefully be doing a match preview episode on Doncaster Rovers this weekend. So stay tuned for that episode. If not, guys, stay tuned for all the content that we've got coming out on our socials, and have a fabulous week. We will see you back at the Lamix? What are we calling it? Back at the
Broadhall Way.
Because it's not the Lamix anymore, is it?
No,
We're getting a new stadium now.
Call it Broadhall Way.
You know what it's going to be called, don't you?
No, don't say it.
The Ex-Zola Stadium. You know it's coming. And there's nothing. I actually quite like that. I think that sounds pretty cool.
I was waiting for you to go something like the Stats Stadium or something.
The Stadion the Stats.
No.
Why not? Why not is it not called that? The Stadion the Stats. But yeah, not the Lamix on Saturday. Jesus. Yeah, Broadway Way for a game. I'm sure Lewis Collins is buzzing over that. So yeah, see you at Broadway Way, aka the Lamix or Stadion the Stats or whatever it's called this Saturday. And yeah, enjoy the game, guys. Saturday. Make sure to get down to the stadium and see the team playing back the boys. And we'll be back this week with those episodes. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. At this time, you have been listening to the number one Stevenage Football Club platform. And that is the Stevenage Football Club podcast. Have a fantastic week, guys.